So we had a really wild start with the small caps, and as you can see, I was short bias on this stock. But just because when you're short bias, you still have to respect your stop and wait for the better entries. I was shorting here pre-market and added on the reject of pre-market highs and covered into the flushes into this $8 area. And I tried to re-add some, but when there's a lot of volume, you can see this volume squeeze coming in, 400,000 and then later on 800,000 shares. That's where I got stopped out. And I'm glad I did. I stopped out on a short. You can always re-enter short after seeing weakness. Shorted some more here around 11s, covered into the flush. Tried to re-short some more smaller ones after VWAP is breaking down. I thought, we're done. But you can see this stock is really resilient. In the flushes, I bought up, added some more here, and tried a little bit more short, but I didn't want to fight it too hard. That's why, yes, I covered into the flush to 940s. But when it quickly rejected the lows and reclaimed VWAP, that's when I got stopped out. And I just left the stock alone for the rest of the day. And, I take a break during midday, as you can see. And this is where you see this kind of low flow shenanigans started to come back. Stock held the lows again and then reclaiming VWAP. And after reject, holding a higher low and started ramping power hour. A nice little win on this one. But the better winner on the day was WORX. Again, this one I was still short bias just because, if you look at this daily chart, this chart at the open, especially when $7 keep on rejecting, and we were selling off really heavy from $9 already pre-market, and that's when they started trapping shorts, thinking that this is gonna be an easy short. For me, I was in short. I didn't get long on the stock at all. In hindsight, maybe I should have after we reclaimed VWAP and started ramping higher, but I just kind of left it alone. But I still respected my risk. Shorted some more here, but shorted the bigger pop at the open and covered into the flush, re-shorted some and covered row here. When we started to make a double bottom on the stock, and we shorted some more again, but really quickly covered. Didn't want to outstay my welcome, especially when I'm shorting ICD at the same time as well. A lot of times when I'm shorting these low floats, I cover way too soon, but this is one of those times that I'm really glad I just take the meat of the move and it didn't outstay my welcome and get squeezed all the way up to $14. There's a lot of shorts blowing up on this stock and also ICD today. So again, whether you're long or short, just need to respect your risk and recognize when you're wrong. The loser on the day, really small loser, is CCL. It's a larger cap that I took the loser on. Shorted here and added some more on the VWAP reject. And when it starts to reclaim, that's when I got out. You can see it later on started working, but took a loss on this and took another loss on this near the end of the day. Just didn't work out. So for me, I'm really proud of the way I traded today. Kept my loser small and kept my winner big. And at the same time, didn't outstay my welcome and get short squeezed. So I had a really decent day. And while everyone is watching this son of a gun going from $9 to $16, I was waiting for a slower play on Roku. You can see they had some positive news coming out overnight with the guidance and growing subscription numbers. And whenever Roku gaps up overnight, in this case, it gapped up from $96 all the way to about $112, $16 gap up overnight. Roku is one of those stocks that sell off really hard, the gaps. So that's exactly what happened today. In hindsight, I wish I had the flexibility to go short, but I was actually looking for, after the stock sells off, to long on the bottom curl to go long the stock. You can see I went long here, sold some, and when it stays heavy, I sold the rest, and I waited lower over here around 102, and then sold some and added back in around 103.92 and sold into the push 106 and then 107. So this is one of those stocks, once it trends, it has a lot of upside. It really gave us, $5, $6 to the upside. So if you're patient, if you planned out your entries, you can do really well on these large cap stocks, and they are slow moving. So if you don't like the volatility in low float penny stocks, SONN, SONN, Dan SONN, you can see the stock squeezed from $9 to $16, but it's like the front side, yeah, it looks really hot, but look at the back side, no bounce whatsoever. Really just sold off from $14 all the way back to single digits at the end of the day. So I don't really want to get caught in any of that mess. So that's why I stayed away and traded the stock that I'm more comfortable with and have more confidence in. In that case was in Roku. And at the end of the day, as you can see, I went back for a little bit more long. I gave back some profit. That's the loss at the end of the day. The other smaller trade that's also pretty slow, but still was pretty decent. I'm short at DKS around here and risky in the previous day's close. So that's why I was adding in bigger to full size around 24.80s and cover into here. It was really slow, it's just a small 50-60 cents gain, and good thing I covered because we just kind of reclaimed and went red to green on the day. BA, this is the end of the day trade where we had a huge run up all the way from 140 all the way to 148, and just shorting the extension. Similar trade to Roku, but this one is slightly different because there's a lot of intraday extension and we're just shorting into the end of the day profit taking, and we had a nice little close on Bowen. So it'll be very interesting to how this opens up tomorrow. The bigger winner on the day was APDN. This is a stock that I traded many times in the past before. You can tell by looking at daily charts on the stock, right? And this is a very dirty dilutive stock, S3 in a lot of past offering and dilution in history. So that's why I was scaling in short. It's really scary to short the front side, and that's why I didn't have a huge size until we actually truly broke down the 760s level, and that's why went in a lot bigger. But overall, it's a very nice trade. Shorted around here 860s, covered some more, and keeping some core size, allowing me to add if we do push and retest 850s again. Once we are really, really weak and breaking down, that's when I added back in and covered here, and of course, always, miss a lot more to the downside. But that's something I'm working on. But there are a lot of circumstances in the past week where I'm really glad I took the meat of the move and didn't, outstay my welcome and give back, because a lot of these low float small cap penny stocks been ripping like crazy. And final trade on the day is Delta. The airline stocks such as American Airlines, Delta, and Southwest, and a couple others, United, one of them, the entire sector gapped up overnight because of the deal reached with the stimulus package, but then they started selling off pre-market and giving back a lot of the gains. And that's why I went in short after we broke down this 25.70s level, went in short, and I was trying to focus on APDN, and that's why I covered instead of, this would have been a nice push to add back to full size on the short position. But, it's difficult for me to handle and manage a lot of full size positions when in multiple trades at the same time. But that's something I'm going to improve and maybe just, small size shorts later on. As you can see, it played out according to my plan. Once this level breaks down, we keep on breaking down to 25 previous days close and even lower on the daily chart. So I missed a lot of downside on this. So definitely there's something to be, learned in every single loss, and also same as the wins, right? Like in this case, I could have capitalized a lot more and adding back to my winners and made a lot more money to the downside. And I planned for it too, pre-market every single day. So I just need to carry this out and have more patience and execute my trades. So had a few good trades today. So let's start with the loser on the day first. Bed Bath and Beyond, not Best Buy. It's a BBBY, not BBY. I got confused at first. So literally stopped me out at the bottom right here on $5 support. And in hindsight, I should have gave it more chance, but I just didn't really like the way it sold off the spike in the morning and then how fast we dumped to $5. So I did stop out on this trade for a loss on the long side. And as you can see, after stopping me out right at the bottom, we rebounded back to 520s. 540s and then later on making a move after hours. So it is what it is. They had good earnings, good guidance, so we'll likely see more upside on this tomorrow. Look at the volume on the daily chart. BMRA, this is a short trade. They had some PR release in the middle of the day and the stock literally spiked from $8 to $11. It's a low float, bag holder chart if you look at this daily, right? I think I was shorting this over here and on this day. So today it's a similar setup. Didn't have the best fills. The best entry was up here on 1120s, but you can see I started out on the starter size way too early. But that's why you need to scale in on a low float stock like this. Shorted into this and then covered some and added some more on the breakdown when we stayed heavy and covered down here and accidentally loaned some, so I just have to get out if I'm accidentally in a trade that I didn't intend to be in. But it's a really nice short trade from around 1140s all the way down here. Best cover was $9. Nice little gainer on the day. The other stock was MOSY. So we just had this low float runner just kind of came out of nowhere. If you look at this stock, ran from 150 all the way to 460 within 10 minutes. It's crazy. I think they had some headline release or was it like a reverse split, but look at this volume, right? Came out of nowhere. It looks like a pump, like a PR pump or something, but also extremely low float. I think 1 or 2 million shares float. That's why the stock spiked from $2 all the way to doubling, and started scaling in short after the on-hold. If you look at this volume, right? If we unhold and there's no volume whatsoever, the stock is gonna plummet. And that's the idea behind this. Shorted some, covered some more, and re-shorted over here at the breakdown after I seen that there's literally no one buying the stock. Everyone who bought in here is taking profit. And that's why I shorted and covered into the support here. And so that's the short trade on the day. So it's Friday and I think I'm done for the day. A couple of trades today and pretty clean so far. The first one that was MRNA. This one we had a gap up from $40 the day before all the way up to $50 pre-market. So when you have a gap up like this, 10 points gap up, it's most likely we're going to see at least some sort of profit taking. I'm not saying like the stock is going to tank all the way from 50 back to 37, but it's safe to expect some sort of pullback, right? And in this case, once we broke this key level that I was watching around $47, once we broke this key $47 level and a selling volume comes in and we cannot hold, I started shorting the pops, risking the reclaim of $47, cover some more into the dump and cover some more into previous support over here. And I tried a little bit more of re-short, but it was actually stronger than I thought. Shorted some more here and adding in bigger after this quick wick right here and cover the rest. And I didn't want to go back and over trade again. So overall, it's a nice short trade, MRNA. So the second trade on the day, Roku, I went short and then I went long. Short because market was pulling back. There's also the 200 SMA around the 124.30s area on the daily chart. Once we broke down that level, you can see this really clean line. Once we break down, we're gonna retest the next support level down. That's why I went in short at the market open, covered most of it here, and I tried to go in for a small size long to long the bounce. Because Roku is one of those stocks that when it bounces pretty big, especially when there is, positive news from a couple of days ago. So there's the fundamental catalyst and there's also the technical setup. Scaled in slowly and taking some profit along the way on the long side, and then took the most of the profit here. I tried to go back again long and then short, just the backside of the trade just didn't work out for me. So that's why a lot of times, the first few trades, the first 1 and 2 trades are the best. And when I go back, I get chopped up. So gave back some profit up here. But overall, it's a really nice short trade and a long trade on Roku. I think I'm pretty much done for the day now. There's a couple other things I'm still watching, but Fridays tend to be the worst days for me. So I try to keep it simple in trading only the first hour and the first hour and a half. And I'm just gonna observe the market from now. So hopefully we get some more nice continuation next week. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the bad jokes. If you want to see more day trading content, make sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitter and Instagram for more. If you'd like to trade with me daily and get my free weekend watch list and trading journal, make sure to check out the links below for more resources. Stay green, stay positive, and I'll see you guys next time.